Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today with Acacia Courtney and Brian Nato. We're coming to you from our homes. Hope you all are staying safe. And Brian, we have a rare 8-race card that we'll be talking about today, but of course, a nice prelude to all of the great stakes we have coming up on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, the weekend looks strong, doesn't it? With a plethora. We lead off with a stakes race tomorrow, so a lot to look forward to. We've got 8 solid races today too to talk about.
But we'll go through the card. We have fast main track, firm turf course, and the all-weather Tapeta all in play today. And we kick things off on the main track with the 2-year-old fillies, 5.5 furlongs on the main, $12,500 maiden claiming race, and Jose Pinchin does have 2 in here.
Yeah, I went 7-1-3-5. I thought those are the 4 I used in the early pick 5 as well. I thought it was a difficult race, and I wanted some coverage. Uncaptured Faith is on the outside, and Paco gets aboard. And the apprentice Franklin Calle has done a good job, but this is a big jock switch. Paco gets aboard, and they put blinkers on too. So to me, there's some intent here. We want to go. We want to be involved early, and Uncaptured Faith hasn't really been doing that of late. So maybe a little form reversal is coming, and the dark kind of landed on her because I did think it was a tough race.
As I just
there we go.
Out of the way. Little visitor. I thought for sure he would show up yesterday, and he arrived today. That's my cat Pippin.
Threatened it yesterday. So
but I'm in agreement with you. I kind of thought in this race, I had a hard time really finding form to sink my teeth into and some horses that I really trusted. So I kind of went to jockeys that I trusted. So you have Paco Lopez at the outside, and Luis Saez picks up the mount on the Ron Spatz runner to the inside, and Pretty as Pink. So I went 1-7-3 in here. The other Jose Pinchin runner forge ahead picks up Junior Alvarado too. Just feels like the inside and outside runners just may find the right spot today.
Yeah, I was with you. I had Pretty as Pink in second. You mentioned Saez as aboard. The synthetic debut was solid enough, no great shakes, but she did run a little bit. Now with that tightener behind her, Saez getting aboard, kind of the all systems go angle. It was a pretty solid race she comes out of too. So yeah, I definitely think Pretty as Pink is a major player.
Stay on the main track for race 2, 6 furlong, $6,250 claiming race, non-winners of 3 in life for fillies and mares. I have my long shot here, Brian. I took a stab with the number 6, Henny Penny, for Dan Hertak, who gets back on the main track. I think it's just the right level, the right surface. Ran a fine second, 2 starts back with a wide trip at a generous price. And I thought that she could potentially be the type that would be overlooked in here with some lower profile connections. So taking a shot with this one drawn to the outside.
Yeah, I mean, I have her in fourth in that, that dirt race 2 back, albeit on a sloppy track. It's in the realm with a group like this. And, there's some tough to trust form from some of these 2 who are inside. I look at Bionic Bottle, who, really regressed last time in the slop. What are you getting today? So back with your pick, and Marco Meneses is having a very strong meet. We always talk about the Pacos and Luis Saez's and stuff, but these, riders kind of falling under the radar a little bit. He's sitting here at 14% at the championship meet. And, that's pretty darn good job and booting home some winners too. So you could do worse with Henny Penny. I like this outside post as well, Acacia. And like you said, you're going to get some value here too.
Looks like a nice price. As it seems the shorter price runners are drawn down to the inside. I believe you go to Pretzel over Charlotte the Brit. Charlotte the Brit's actually 8-5 on the morning line.
Yeah, I printed early, so I didn't see that, and I glanced. But, I did land with Pretzel Barboza off the claim, 31%. I mean, that's a big angle. I like the fact that he gives Luca Pedici the ride back. I mean, he's ridden this daughter of Brethren's 3 times in a row. He's going to try to, improve off Monica McGoey. So, this is a barn this is the angle of this barn. So I think Pretzel can move up a little bit. I don't really think Pretzel has to move up a little bit. I do have Charlotte the Brit in second, but it seems a little tough to trust with a slew of losses, and I don't really see a win on the page. So, it's been a while between drinks for Charlotte the Brit, and taking a short number isn't too appealing either, at least in the win pool.
I felt the same way about that morning line favorite as we go to race 3. Still on the main track, 6.5 furlongs, maiden claiming for $16,000. This is for fillies and mares 3 and up. Again, we have a short price morning line favorite down to the inside that may be a little tough to trust in Beth's Dream. I think both you and I go against her with Latte Lover.
I think you have to go against her, don't you? I mean, she might win, but not to speak for you, but she could win without me because she's been off since October of 2020. She never ran an inch in either of her starts, and now the blinkers come off, the Lasix goes on. At least Saez is here on the trainer change to Victor Barboza. So yeah, tread lightly with her. But back to Latte Lover. She's lightly raced. She's improving. She moved forward last time off a little bit of a layoff. I figured she comes out of live, solid, good races. And third start of the career, third start of the form cycle, to me, says you're getting her best shot today. And you look at some of these others in here, Acacia, and I'm seeing 0 for 6. I'm seeing 0 for 6. I'm seeing a couple 0 for 6s that haven't even hit the board yet. So here's an 0 for 11 on the outside. And then you mentioned, we talked about the favorite. So to me, a lot of things line up for Latte Lover today.
I agree. And I feel a spiritual connection to Latte Lover because I do love my lattes. But I liked that she was slightly raced. And yes, I know that Beth's dream does go to Victor Barboza, but she started out with a good trainer too in Eddie Plesa Jr. The kind of wild card to me, real quick, was Hustle Queen, who actually has on the bottom side some decent dirt sprint pedigree. And she cuts back in distance. She had actually shown a little speed on the turf.
Yeah, I had her in third, and you're right. And she's got foundation. She hasn't been out since July, which isn't ideal, but Rohan Crichton got a win the other day, and David Baracco's got a win at the meet, and she's got some furlongs under her, and I think importantly too, Acacia, she hasn't yet shown that she's not that interested in winning the horse race. It's just over 3.
And I can't believe it. I knew I was going to do this, but race 3, because we have an 8-race card, actually starts the Rainbow Six.
Right.
So I just wanted to remind everybody of that. I knew I was going to forget because it was so early, but we could quickly show the ticket now. But I put up a ticket together today, Brian, $21.60 for a relatively inexpensive play. I'm 3 deep in the first couple of legs. I do have a single a little bit later on with Harper's in Charge, who just seems to be a little bit better than what she's facing today, so that helped keep things a little bit more affordable. And then 2 deep in the last leg, so $21.60. Don't forget, like I did, that the Rainbow Six starts in race 3, which is a perfect segue because race 4 kicks off the late pick 5.
Yeah, and along your Rainbow Six lines, my late pick 5 lines is a $9 ticket. So I don't think, neither do you apparently, that you have to go that deep to have a legitimate chance in these sequences. We'll talk about race 4, 3, 5, 7 for me, 5, 6 in race 5, singles in race 6 and race 7, the 7 in race 6, the 1, my best bet of the day, Pearlescent in race 7. And then in the finale, I lose one because of the scratch. So it's 1, 5, 7. Check Twitter and all that good stuff too, because our tickets will be on there, and picks and all that kind of stuff too, as we go outside the box a little bit with our segments today.
And it does come up the late pick 5 in race 4, sprinting on the main track once again. This is actually a nice race to kick off the sequence too. Starter optional claiming, going 6 furlongs for 3 and up. I believe you go to the number 7, Face of Victory. This horse is in really good form for Saffie Joseph.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of it. Luis Saez is here. We're outside some other main contenders. So Tyler Gaffalione, has options here as well. And I think it all adds up. It's a tough race, though, because, you've got to go through Joe DiBaggio, who was just awesome winning last time with a big number. Gangley's in the mix, too. But I did land on Face of Victory. With that being said, I'm using all 3 of those runners in my late pick 5.
I did the same in the Rainbow Six. My top pick was Gangley, who I thought against a little bit tougher open company last time ran really well after beating Florida Breds for Allowance Company 2 back. A little bit of a freshening since October 30th, but does lure Luis Saez. And overall, the figures recently, especially moving into Bobby DeBona's barn, have been strong. I thought it was a little bit of a class drop on paper, but this actually, I think, came up a saltier race than perhaps they might have anticipated. I'm hoping we get a little bit of pace on, and this one kind of sits a nice trip.
Yeah, it's definitely possible, because there are some in here that want to be involved early, and Gangley's the one that's going to be sitting back licking his chops.
On the Sapita for race 5, about 1 mile and 70 yards, $25,000 maiden claiming race. This is for 3-year-olds and upward. And once again, I thought that this race came up really competitive. I ended up going to the 6, Sportini, who had some traffic trouble last time out for Mike Stidham, but I thought really had every opportunity to potentially take a step forward today.
I agree totally. I was 5, 6, and those are the 2 I used in my late pick 5. And Sportini, you see the trouble line there. Now he immediately reaches for Luis Saez. Edgar Zayas, we know, get well. Edgar, he's going to be out for a little bit. The trouble stands out. It was at this level last time. That race was a little better than what he had shown in his first three starts. So there's a lot to like about Sportini. And I think if you're, going against tape to tape, Sportini is the absolute logical alternative.
And speaking of tape to tape, we've mentioned it a few times. Bill Theranos, just that knowledge and familiarity, I guess, too, with the Tapeta and knowing what horses fit it. Tape to tape, drops in class, coming down after showing speed on synthetic up at Woodbine.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Bill is, I love that bullet on December 17th into this one. And, Dom McRae did a pretty good job with this one. He's clearly got the best overall form. Now he goes to Bill 14% into the new barn. As you mentioned, less is more at the meet. He's, he only run 8 horses, but he's won twice. They've hit the board 2 other times. So I think tape to tape, excuse me, clearly to me is the one to beat today.
We go on to race 6. The quality continues here. 5 furlongs on the turf. This is for the Florida breds, and allowance optional claiming for fillies and mares. And Harper's in charge does seem to be the one to beat, given her recent speed figures. Unfortunately, she has not yet won on the turf. Maybe she's just quicker than these, but she will need to have her running shoes on.
Yeah, I mean, any of those last 3 races on the turf are going to beat this field unless somebody jumps up and does something they haven't done before, and that's run, as fast as Harper's in charge. She's got speed, so it's not like she's at the mercy of the pace. She's got to drop back because we know you don't want to do that going 5 here on this turf course. Luis Saez is here. Christoph has had a very, very good start to the meet with a limited amount of starters. You could win the stakes tomorrow. So there's a lot to like about her, and I singled her, and she looks odds on to me, Acacia.
I singled her as well. I just thought that she was finding herself in a pretty cushy spot. And this is the shortest she's gone, too, which I would imagine it's just kind of be blast off and go as far as using that natural speed that she does have. In second, I ended up using the number 8, Baby Mo, for Mark Casse, who she and Warstar come out of the same race last time out. I thought that she could potentially be kind of in a nice stalking spot and maybe offer a little value underneath.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. She really woke back up last time. So now we know we can draw a line through that Tapeta race 2 back, focus on her last 2 turf sprints. The maiden win right here on this course was very, very good in July. She backs it up last time with a close third. She's meeting tougher. She's stepping into open company. And she's not, excuse me. Harper's in charge. She gets the drop, excuse me. But yeah, I was just a little worried about, yeah, I know, right? I was just a little worried about Baby Mo in that she's going to try to win the race, and it might cost her a little bit because she's going to have to run with Harper's in charge, no doubt. I went outside the box a little bit with Nikki Can off the claim for Delgado, and I think she's the one that might sit in the kind of the garden spot of behind all the speed. Now it will need to come back to her. She will have to improve, but this is a 24% barn off the claim. So I took a little shot, maybe breaking up, trying to get some value at least into the exacta.
I used this other horse in fourth, but I just wanted to mention her real quick, Starship Nana, for Steve Dwoskin, because she has a massive turf pedigree, and she's trying the turf for the first time. She's have to 3 stakes winners who were all good on the turf, Leaving Charlie, Dreaming of Gold, and Sham Rocket, who is a really talented marathon type
Sure.
turf runner now with Todd Pletcher. So it's not the move for the barn. She has the layoff to contend with, but I think I'm just intrigued if she'll take to the grass and maybe one to watch moving forward.
Yeah, and she won off works, on debut.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign. And then she didn't fire in her second shot, but yet Steve brings her back and she's not in for a tag, which she was on debut. So there's some positives here out of a Storm Cat mare. You don't see that much anymore in the pedigree and the PPs.
On to the first half of the late double. We're on the Tapeta in the 7th, about 1.70 miles in the startle optional claiming, and I'll let you take it away because I know that Pearlescent is your best bet of the day.
Yeah, I believe 9-5 on the morning line, and it's just right there in front of you. She's 2 for 2 on the Tapeta. Some of these horses, A, are unproven on the Tapeta, B, are trying the Tapeta off dirt races. So you just have no idea. And there's Pearlescent down in there for Elizabeth Dobles with the perfect post. She's 2 for 2 over the track and the distance. And I just think a lot of reasons point to her tripling up here for the hat trick. 9-5, I believe, on the morning line.
Yeah, she is, and she is definitely the one to beat. I agree. I took a little shot against her because I like to be difficult, but time and play for Anthony Margata. I was just intrigued by her, and she is a lighter frame type of mare. I thought that she faced Salty Company with Stunning Princess, and traffic song last time out in that turf race. It's her first time on the synthetic, but she'll be running late. She'll be a price. And I thought looking at her pedigree and looking at her physicality, she'd be the type that could potentially handle the surface. Pearlescent is far and above the one to beat, but just trying to get a little cute and creative in a race where you are going to have a very short price favorite.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, and that short fight priced favorite, especially in the horizontals, people are going to be singling there. So you get a horse like Diamond Play. Say Diamond Play pays $11 to win. She could be a lot more in those horizontals.
We wrap things up for the day on the main track for the 2-year-olds, 5.5 furlongs, $12,500. And this one, you have a short price favorite to the outside. I bit this time. I ended up going with Cajun Mandate, who I just thought was the speed and off the second place finish last time out.
Yeah, I mean, you have to use this horse. He's one of three I used to end the late pick five. I had him in third because the only reason I had him in third is you just kind of wonder where that race came from. But we know Mike Yates does such a good job with these Cajun breeze horses, and you know the barn struggled a little bit at the meet, but if you just take that effort at face value, that he's got this one going good, yeah, Cajun Mandate's going to be a real problem for the rest of this field.
Seemed like the other kind of main contender in here was the number 1 UU Star. Could certainly build off of that third place finish.
Yeah, that's the way I went. You're exactly right. It was a positive debut. Chantel's been riding, pretty well the last week or so. She's picking up some wins.
Ronnie Spath, nightcap too.
Yeah, twice in a row, right, for her. So kudos to her. And I just think if this one moves forward, and this is a type of race, Cajun Mandate, UU Star, they don't have to move forward that much occasionally, if at all, to beat the rest of this group or what they've done. So, I think that's the main danger to the favorite.
Well, that is the 8-race card. Only 2 scratches on the day, which is nice. Don't forget Rainbow Six starts in race 3 today, and we hope that you have a lovely day. Of course, looking forward to all of the stakes action coming up Friday and Saturday. We'll be talking a lot more about that over the next couple of days. But Brian, good luck today. We turn it over to Pete Aiello for scratches and changes.
Pegasus, the divine winged horse that flew with heroes mounted for glory. Here begins our story of legendary times, the rarefied air when the stakes are high. Like the moment when you feel the vibe, the thunder and the lightning on the track, the energy in the stands, like music moving through your soul, shaking your hips, making you dance. The stars come out in the magic city, for Pegasus they stay, dressed in designers' newest finds, wishing all days could be like this. A moment in the sun, where everything is divine. Racing, vibe, fashion, entertainment. Arrogant, gun runner, city of light, mucho gusto, and Knicks go. Pharrell Williams at the finish line. Lenny Kravitz rocks the runway. Snoop Dogg making it rain. A Jennifer Lopez family affair. Vin Diesel found out that cars aren't the only thing that are fast and furious. This runway on the rails.